21-year-old actress Millie Bobby Brown announced that she and her 23-year-old husband, Jake Bongiovi, have adopted a baby girl. They announced the news on Instagram after Millie posted a picture of herself carrying a baby down the aisle at her sister's wedding earlier this summer. She says she's always wanted to be a younger parent and that her parents had her when they were 21 and 19 respectively. So do you feel the same way? Did you have babies very young, or perhaps you waited until you were older, more mature to have children? Maybe you think that's the way to go. Do get in touch. What about you? You've done both, haven't you?
I've done both.
Yes.
I've lived it both, yeah. 24 when I had Corey, and I've got to say I had energy, I could cope with the sleepless nights, and I loved the fact that I just kind of threw him in the back of the car, took him everywhere. There was no second guessing. Whereas with Rafi, there's a to-do list, there's the pros and cons, there's a lot more kind of thinking behind it.
And what was the age gap between the two?
11 years.
Right, so you're 24 with one, 35 with the other.
Yeah, that's right.
And did you feel physically more tired? Did you feel like I really got this because I'm so mature now, I'm a grown-up, I know what to do?
Well, two parts really. 24, I was back on stage 7 weeks after I had Corey. Right. So I was straight back into the thick of it, working, and could physically do it. It was tiring and it wasn't pleasant, but I did it. 35, I wanted to do pantomime, but physically couldn't do it. So 12 weeks afterwards, I didn't feel ready. 6 months, I didn't feel ready. So physically, I felt the difference. So I would say being a younger mum had massive pros to it, but a lot wiser as a second mum.
All right. Cosmo, do you feel that there's been a sort of outcrop of judgment about Millie Bobby Brown? She's 21 years old, adopting a baby. Is this right? Is this wrong? Lots of people seem to think it's wrong somehow.
Yes, it is. But I think the truth is there are pros and cons on both sides. There are advantages in being a young mom. You have a lot of energy, you have a determination. There are advantages to being an older mom, or older parent, that is that you have patience. And it has to do, being a good parent has a lot to do with qualities of your character. And that takes time to develop. So I think that it's, it's a trade-off.
I wonder, Paula, whether some people are just incredibly maternal and paternal. And sometimes you see it in big families where you see the 8-year-old looking after the 6-month-old and doing the most wonderful job of it. Incredibly responsible, really nurturing, kind, sensible, just delightful. And you think, now this little girl, and then you see little boys doing exactly the same. 8-year-old boys looking after the baby beautifully. And you think they were just born to be parents. They've just got what it takes. So if they had a baby at 16, 18, 22, they do it brilliantly.
And that's what we hear from this wonderful story. And I'm saying it is a wonderful story because what we hear Millie Bobby tell us is that she's done it, her mother did it, her grandmother did it. So she's from that family, from a community where they have come together, where they parent as a family. And I was thinking about this question a lot, Vanessa, because in my personal circumstances, my husband was just 23 when I fell pregnant and I was 34. So we had the younger parent and the older parent. And for us, we brought different things, of course, to our parenting. But what we both agreed on was that actually it was about the village around us. It was actually about that, okay, grandma's here, mother-in-law's here, aunties, uncles are here.
You had a support network.
Oh, absolutely.
You need,
And when we think about younger parents now, I don't know how younger parents manage because I think of those childcare costs.
It's costly, isn't it, now?
Yeah. When I actually felt rich was in my late 40s because there was no more nursery fees. And, as a young parent, unless there is this village around our younger parents, how are they going to manage?
I was
with difficulty.
Engaged at 22, married at 23, and I had a baby, my first baby at 24, and my second baby at 27. And my parents were just like, well, what took you so long? Honestly, what on earth? You're a spinster, you're stuck on the shelf. I can't believe it's taken you. Haven't you found it? When I came back from university, unengaged and unmarried, they were horrified, absolutely horrified. We moved back in with my kettle, my bath mat. They're like, oh my God, my father said, you've delighted us long enough. So nobody in my family said, you're too young. Don't even think about having a baby in your early 20s. The exact opposite of that. I think my mum had me at 23. My grandma was even younger, exactly as you say. And it's all about, isn't it, what's expected in your culture or your environment or your family, that kind of thing.
But everyone now is having babies at a much older age. The young man is statistically much more...
It's only shifted though in the last 50 years that we're living this way.
It's partly because of housing being so difficult, childcare being so expensive.
And I think separated families as well, because it does take a village to raise a family, and you would have the grandparents to be the wise ones and the parents to have the energy, and that's how it
and
felt.
also I think it's all that swiping to the left and swiping to the right.
Yeah.
There are just too many options. Nobody wants to settle for an actual...
No one wants to commit.
No one wants to commit. Let's go to Colleen in Kent. Colleen, what do you think? How old were you when you had your first child?
I was just 19.
And how ready did you feel and how appropriate was it? Tell me about it.
Oh, it was very appropriate. My husband and I met when we were 14.
Oh, wow.
Our family wedding. I hated him. He hated me. And then from there on, we went on to have 3 children. We live in a mining village, an ex-mining village, so lots of support.
Right.
I left art college to have my baby and went on to have 2 more. And then they all went off to university, and when I was 40, I went back to university and did a nursing degree, became a cardiac specialist nurse. My husband and I bought a home in France for the family and renovated it. We bought another one in England while we were working night duty.
Oh, my goodness.
And renovated that to pay for us.
Wow.
And now, unfortunately, I lost my husband 3 years ago, unexpected. But we had 54 years together. Wonderful. I've got 5 grandchildren, and I travel. I'm still fit and well, despite having cancer during lockdown. I'm fine.
Good.
But I think, it depends on the person. And as one of your guests said, if you've got support as well, that helps. But it depends on you. It doesn't matter how old you are.
Well, I'd like to see Meryl Streep play you in the film of your life. Because you've been amazing. The houses and the degree and the babies and the hating your husband at first sight and then having all those blissful years. It's an absolutely delightful call. Colleen, thank you so much for calling. Let's go to Susan in Worcestershire. Hi, Susan. What do you think?
Hi. What do I think?
Yeah.
The best thing is having them early as you can if you want them.
Do you? How old were you?
Yeah. Well, I wanted one from the age of 13.
You see, I think the
So
same thing,
I went and worked in an orphanage instead.
Did you? Gosh. Wow. I mean, I think that it's this maternal instinct that is absolutely irrepressible, and you see it in children. You see it if you feel ready to mother, then or father, then you're ready to mother a father. Susan, gosh, the orphanage, where was it?
Oh, Acott's Green.
And how was it? Tell
Birmingham.
me about life working inside an orphanage. What kind of year are we talking about now?
Oh, God. You tell me, I'm 82.
So a long time ago. I bet those babies and children were in desperate need of some love from you, weren't they?
Absolutely. That's all you can give them, isn't it? More than anything else.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. God, I'd like to read the story of her life as well.
I know.
Oh, that sounds
Susan, what an
amazing.
interesting call. Thank you so much for ringing. Let's go to Sylvia in North Yorkshire. Tell me about you, Sylvia. What did you do?
Well, I had my first child when I was 18 and my second when I was 20 because I wanted to have my children while I was young so that when they grew up, I would still be young enough to do and enjoy things with them. Because my mother was 40 when she had me.
Right.
So by the time I grew up, she was too old to do anything, with me. So that's why I had mine early.
And did it work out the way you hoped it would? Was it like that?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We still sort of meet up now, every now and again and do things. Whereas had I have had them, later in life, I probably would have thought, oh, no point in asking Mum, she's too old.
And tell me about being 18 with a baby, because, you might have thought, gosh, what have I done? You might have thought, oh, all my other friends are going out and having a marvellous time and I'm just stuck here feeding and changing a baby that doesn't stop crying. Or you might have thought, this is the best thing I've ever done. I love it. This is brilliant. What did you think?
Yeah, I did enjoy it, actually, because that's what I wanted to do. It wasn't a case of, oh, flipping heck, I've got a baby and I didn't want to have one this young. That's what I wanted. So I enjoyed having my children while I was young. Yeah, okay, my friends were going out, but then I could go out because my husband would babysit.
Sounds like a very decent husband you had going on there, Sylvia.
Hold on to him, Sylvia.
Yeah, lovely to talk to you, Sylvia. Thank you very much indeed. I mean, I remember, you know, one minute I was at university, the next minute I was married with a baby, on the third floor of a block of flats, watching the Hendon Way, if anybody knows it. It's a very busy road, all the traffic just chugging on by. You could smell the fumes coming up, and there was no lift, and we were on the third floor. And it was when I came in with the shopping and the baby, did I leave the shopping on the ground floor and to carry the baby up the 3 flights, or the baby in the shopping?
Yeah.
And I must say, I did sometimes think, I mean, if I might as well be honest, no point doing this programme if I'm not honest. I did sometimes think, gosh, everyone else I know is starting a career or, you know, doing something glamorous and fabulous or, you know, travelling around the world, and I'm just trying to get this baby to eat mashed up banana stuck on the third floor with no money and thinking, oh, God, I did think that a bit.
But then the woman with the career often thought, oh, I wish I had the baby and mashing up the banana for the baby.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I think we've been sold, I think women particularly, because of course we know that there is a clock ticking for us. I think to a certain extent we may have been sold a lie. This need, this urge that we have. I didn't have that urge at 21, at 25. You know, I didn't want to have children. There's honesty for you.
Yeah.
But I didn't see that coming in my future.
Neither did I, and I still did it.
Yeah. But for a lot of women, they
let's factor that in as well. It's not always planning, is it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That we're kind of squeezed into this funnel. But if we understood that at 20 or 21, 22, that we could have children and go on to have a career. Whereas I think definitely for my generation, I'm 50 now, we were told you need your career because you'll never get another opportunity to do it.
And I think that's where it's different now. You can still get the career. It is, you know, the landscape of business has changed so much. So there's no way where you can't.
Accommodating.
You can start a business up from home. So if you do have a young child, there is obviously, it's hard juggling everything, but I think you're still able to still get the things that you want in life. It doesn't have to stop because you've had a baby.
It's not one or the other now.
No, it's not.